Hi everybody, and welcome to Tea Time with Catharsis. My name's Madeline. I'm a production intern here, and we're so excited to have Colin Miller here with us. Colin was just named New Mexico's Best Actor by the New Mexico High School Musical Theater Awards, and so he will be going on to New York to compete in the Jimmies.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So tell us a little bit about the Enchantment Awards. How was that?
That was an amazing experience. What I really love about the Enchantment Awards is all of these people from all around the state. We had people from Carlsbad, from Los Alamos, all over the state come together and really make this show what it is. And I really love, we work together as a cohesive unit, because it's a competition, but it's not, because you're all working as a team. You're helping each other discover new things in a song that you didn't know that you could do, or discover things about yourself during the process that you didn't know were inside of you. And to be surrounded by a group of people that is not only incredibly talented at what they do and love what they do with a passion, but to have them support you in a way that you know you can be yourself and truly show that passion is wonderful.
So what were some of your favorite parts, least favorite parts?
Well, I don't think there was a least favorite part. It was all sort of a culmination of discovery, and because that was the main sort of overarching theme of it all, was what are the characters discovering in the song, which in turn says what are you discovering in yourself through the song. Because even though you're displaying a character on, in any performance, you have to put a little bit of yourself in there because you're the one portraying it.
Yeah.
And it's good to draw on past experiences anyway to really get into character, but to draw on experiences from your past as well as your interpretation of what the character's past look like creates a new discovery, which is what we were really going through. And the journey was what I really loved about it, because at first I was like, okay, I sang This Is the Moment from Jekyll and Hyde, and I was like, okay, hey, this song's pretty cool. It's from a goth musical. I like that. I've never done anything like that before. But then when I really got into the character of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they're two very different personalities, obviously, but they're sort of have a different past, each of those different characters have different experiences. So instead of just putting Dr. Jekyll into the song, I also decided to incorporate Mr. Hyde into it, and that brought a whole new level to it, because when you think about Jekyll and Hyde, it's a really, really sad story, and it's not only sad for Dr. Jekyll, but also Mr. Hyde, because he's created in this body who doesn't want him. So he has to deal with that, and that, I think, is what drives him to violence, but that's my own interpretation of that. But it was really, really nice for, as I said, all of us to discover new things about each of our characters, respectively. And I don't think I had a least favorite part, because all we were doing was discovering every single time we sang a song.
That's amazing. So how did you prepare for all that?
Preparedness is an interesting word, because in my humble opinion, in the theater community, you can be as prepared as you want to, but it's always going to throw something else at you.
Yeah.
And no matter what it is, you're not going to be prepared for it. So the way I prepared for it was I chose my songs well in advance. I ran them by my vocal teacher and vocal coach to fine-tune them, as well as get a song that fits well in my voice and showcases it, as well as one that I can sing, because if it goes up in the stratosphere, I don't want to sound like I'm singing up in the stratosphere. I want to sound like it's comfortable and in my range, and also, more importantly, that I can connect with the character. Because the other sort of side of This Is the Moment was, for me, I was saying, okay, this is the time for me. I'm going to go out on that stage and I'm going to put it all out there. And I did.
And you
so,
did, yeah.
And I really enjoyed the fact that I could not only discover that through the process of the Enchantment Awards, but discover that in myself, that I had that confidence, and I didn't know I had that before.
That's fantastic. So tell us about winning. How did you feel about that?
Okay, to be perfectly honest, I thought that was a mistake. I said so in my acceptance speech. I was like, is this a mistake? I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like. And obviously I was very excited and thrilled that I was chosen to go on to the Jimmy Awards and represent New Mexico in the National High School Musical Theater Awards. I just couldn't have any words come to my head. So I was like, who do I thank? There are lots of people. And now I know how people, last night was the Tonys, and I know how people on that stage feel when they don't know what to say. So it was a fabulous experience hearing my name, and I am overly excited to go to the Jimmys and perform over there.
You really deserve it. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
So the Jimmys.
Yes.
You talked a little bit about preparing for the Enchantment Awards. How are you preparing for the Jimmys?
Pretty much the same way. I'm putting a little more thought into... I'm actually putting a lot more thought into what I'm going to make the characters into, because the Enchantment Awards were obviously fine-tuning the characters, but the Jimmys is really getting to the heart of what the character is and what the character wants, what the character needs, all of that stuff. And what I really want to do is to find that connection, and I want to bring it to the surface, because it's in every character, it's buried really, really deep, and you have to go looking for it almost all the time. And when you find it, it's a really amazing feeling. So I'm really just pouring over the music like a billion times to make sure, one, I know the words, because I've been known to do that, forget the words on stage, and I am also trying to not only read the words in song format, but also a way I train is to read them in monologue format. It's a common sort of training exercise. That way you can see how you would read it. Like if you were reading a book, there's obvious inflection in the sentences you're saying, and there's ways to say it that can mean different things. And then that can transfer over to singing. You can sing it like you would say it, which brings a lot more emotion into the character and a lot more motion into the emotion, because you have to use your entire body to display that emotion to the point where people can see it way up in the 5th balcony.
Yeah. That's amazing. So tell us about a little about your previous training. Like, how have you...
Yes, I've been studying voice since 4 years ago, I think it is now. Bordering on 5, because I'm not sure when I started. But I started with a local teacher named Jacqueline Zanderwall. And it really helped me bump up to the next level of vocal training, which is like, oh, okay, I have this gift, and I need to use it to, one, better the community, and also make a living. Because, I mean, it's, But I did that for 2 years. I studied with Miss Zanderwall for 2 years, and then I decided to participate in this program called the Young Voices of the Santa Fe Opera, and it's a program where you study under this person named Kathleen Clausen, and she's also the director of musical theater over at UNM. And she's magnificent. She has connections all over the place. And it not only does she help you find your way through like your voice and finding exactly what your voice type is and where you're going to sit. And obviously it's hard to tell because you're young and you don't know what you're going to be in 30 years. You could be like a soprano now and then a bass in 20 years. But we don't know that. And that's what Kathleen helps you do. She helps you harness the gift you have and makes it into this wonderful wild beast thing that is like prowling over the savannah and like getting all of the notes that you can even imagine. Like, I was up in New England Conservatory, where I'm going to go to college, and to study voice, and I hit a note that I didn't even know I could hit, and that was with the help of Kathleen Glosson, because before that I'd only done musical theater stuff, and I didn't know the beauty of what my voice actually was, which was more classically trained. But now that I know how to use my voice in a classical realm, I can sort of transfer that over to the musical theater side and use that classical sound in musical theater, which is sort of frowned upon in some respects, but I personally think it's better.
It's really cool. I love that. So you obviously participated in the Enchantment Awards, and then you're going to the Jimmys. What are your plans after that? Do you have any big opportunities coming your way, or?
Well, I mean, college at New England Conservatory in Boston. Other than that, I don't really have anything big coming up. The biggest thing is going to be the move to Boston, because I have to up and leave, and I'm learning more and more about my voice. I'm a very charming sponge. I absorb all the information I can, and then I move on and look for more. And I'm always hungry to learn the next thing about my voice and always continue making it better. And I'm really, really excited to go to NEC and do that, because I have had a previous lesson with the vocal teacher I will be studying with, and he's amazing. They call him the tenor whisperer.
Ooh.
So I'm hopefully going to be tamed, as you could say, at NEC.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So another big thing that I'm very interested in is your one-man show. Tell us about
Yes.
how that came about, what that was about.
It was actually a two-man show, and it was called The Missing Piece at PEACE, and it was really an opportunity for me to illuminate on an experience I had, and that was during a choir concert in December of a couple years ago. I was on stage at Prep singing Ave Maria for a choir concert.
At Sandia Prep.
Yes, at Sandia Prep, sorry. And it happened to be a night where a young man with some sort of developmental disability was in the audience. And I went up to him before the show and I asked him if he was excited to see it. And he almost jumped out of his seat. And during the performance, which was the experience I'm drawing on, was during, I think it was the second or third verse, I heard a cry out from the audience. Now, it wasn't a cry of pain or a cry of sadness. It was just a cry wanting to be heard. And that set a fire in the back of my head, thinking, wow, if I can affect this one young man with a song, what can I do with a whole musical? And in a broader sense, how do the performing arts, specifically music and theater, affect those on the autism spectrum? And that is what the main premise of the play was about. It was a journey of this young man named Sean, who was representing the young man with autism, and a struggling street musician who was one successful named Apollo, who were both very close to taking life's greatest gift, which is life. And it was a very dark time in the beginning for both Sean and Apollo, but through Apollo's music, Sean finds his way, and through Sean's music, Apollo finds his way. So they both find each other and help each other through the really dark times through each other's music. And it was really a beautiful story, and I just had to be a part of it. So I decided to write a musical about it, and I did it with the help of my mentor, Daryl Bryant, and he was the second man in my show. And hopefully I'm looking for the next steps of the musical, and I'm gonna refine it a little bit, get Mr. Bryant's going through some things, so I'm letting him take a step back from the show for a while. I will get a different actor to play Apollo, and we are gonna do it again. So I'm very excited for that, because I want to really tell the full story.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I personally saw it, and it was amazing. It was really, really good.
Thank you.
So we would love it if you could sing something for us. Sorry, this is a bit on the
No,
spot.
it's totally fine. Let me think of something. I'm searching through my repertoire, and I can only think of one thing. I'm trying to think of something else.
It's perfect. Whatever you come up with would be fantastic. I know that I personally would love to hear just some little excerpt or something.
Okay. If I forget the words, I do apologize.
It is all good.
Okay. Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, Ma, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time, I've wasted me. So say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer, okay, I agree that I've been one rotten kid. Some sun, some pride, and some joy.
That was amazing.
And that's
fantastic.
whatever. That the rest of that is, you know.
So where is that from?
That is from Aladdin. That is Proud of Your Boy.
I love that. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you.
Don't forget to tune in at 1 p.m. on Mondays. We will be doing an Instagram Live. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.